Live from the happiest place in the Lone Star State. Welcome back to the Talking Mickey Project. TMP is your home for Disney fans of all abilities. Now, it's your host, Emma.
Hello, everyone.
Nobody else dances when this song is on? I don't know. Uh-oh. It's okay. Let's move on.
Yeah.
We had a signal thing, but I think we're good. I hope we're good. Anyway, all right, guys. Welcome back.
Yeah.
Emma, say welcome back.
Welcome back, everyone.
What's going on tonight? Why are we here?
We're here to do the pre-recorded interview with Mr. Bryan Eisenhart from Bryan
West
West
Coast.
Coast Disney Event.
There you go. There you go. Oh, they're saying it's a little bit fuzzy. Let's hope that that fixes itself.
Yeah, I struggle with the Wi-Fi thing.
That's okay. Don't get bummed about that. We'll keep on going. All righty, guys. So
Wait, it might be the cloud. It's cloudy today, isn't it?
it's okay. Can we do this thing?
Yes. Okay.
Emma gets on something and then it's woo, there we go. All right.
Yeah.
So tonight we have a great interview. And I'm looking at No Rain, it says.
Okay, thank you, Michael.
I think that was a song, wasn't it?
I think, no, that's Purple Rain.
No, that was a different song.
No.
All right. Well, we have a cool interview with Bryan. Emma talked to Bryan the other night.
Yeah.
And we have that on here. It's there. And as a bonus, Bryan is in the chat. So if you haven't said hello to Bryan, say hello to Bryan Eisenhart. Bryan is a moderator, as you'll find out, for some various different Disney fan channels.
And someone we know, Miss Alyssa.
That's right.
Welcome.
With Mouse Talk, she's here also. And then our various friends who we're thankful to have back. Here's Monica. Monica, Thank you for coming back. And Dennis is joining us from Australia.
Yeah, we're at Thursday there.
And
today.
It's Thursday there already. Michael is here. Welcome, Michael. Jonathan is back.
Yeah.
Thank you, Jonathan, for being here.
Yeah. Can't wait to meet y'all next Tuesday.
Melissa Mouse Talk.
I'm sorry, not next Tuesday. The following Tuesday.
Okay. And who did I miss? Well, there's Bryan right there. And I'm looking. There's probably some folks I missed. I apologize. Emma's mom is here, of course. And
well, I think that's Sunday.
There is Emma's grandparents are here, and that's awesome because they've been visiting from out of town. They are here in San Antonio with us, which is awesome for the holiday. So, are you ready to thank some folks? Because we got to talk about what's on your run of show. So, what's next? We talk about.
We don't got what's coming up.
All right. So here we go, guys. We need you to take notes on this one. We're going to talk about three upcoming shows. And all of them, and all of them are going to be awesome. So Saturday night. Oh, there's a weird M in the middle of that.
We apologize for that.
That's okay.
Guys.
We will fix that. But disability@disney.com, not co. I guess that was one of my things. Gray was on Emma's fundraiser the other night. So this Saturday night, disability@disney.com, Gray Hauser. He also does a website called Monorail News, which you may have heard about.
Yeah.
And he talks all about disability at Disney, about his news channel, about how he got into doing all this stuff, and a lot of other fun things.
Yeah.
That is Saturday night at 7 p.m. Central. Next Wednesday night, we're getting into the holiday season. It is trivia night with the Muppet, no S, the Muppet Christmas Carol. So if you want to have some fun, come back like we did trivia for Haunted Mansion, Muppets Haunted Mansion. We're going to be doing trivia for a Muppet Christmas Carol, right, Em?
Yeah.
That's going to be fun. And then, wait for it, the weekend of Walt Disney's birthday, his
120th.
His 120th birthday is on December 5th, 2021. So it's coming up.
So any of y'all who will be in Glendale near Cork Lawn on that day, make sure to go say happy birthday to him.
Yes, if you want to go to Forest Lawn and leave flowers or say happy birthday to Walt and Lillian, they are buried at near the Freedom Mausoleum, I think it's called.
Yeah.
But anyway, the Saturday night, the 4th of December, we have an interview that Emma just did with the wonderful people at Super 78 who have purchased and restored Walt Disney Birthplace in Chicago. You know what? You haven't heard much about this, and you will hear a lot about this through this conversation. We had a conversation with Dina and who else? Robert and Brent, right? So Dina and Brent purchased the house. Robert works with them at Super 78. Super 78 builds flying theaters and dark rides. So, yeah, they know the industry and they know, I guess, how they want to help maintain the legacy of Walt. So, again, Saturday night, Disability at Disney. Wednesday night, Trivia, Haunted Mansion, Muppet Christmas Carol. And next Saturday night, the 4th, interview with Walt Disney Birthplace. And I have to update that slide, too, because I had Miss Jessica on there. And Robert. So I'll add Miss Dina and Mr. Brent when we post it. All righty. Got to grab stuff quick right before this. So I apologize on that one. But yes, those are going to be really good for the next 3 ones. And tonight is going to be awesome. Because we are going to be moving on to start the interview. So are you ready, guys? Let's check comments one more time. That's right. Thank you, Jonathan. Stay tuned for Disability at Disney Saturday night. Brian said if he can't respond real quick, he's having some bad internet where he is in Washington. So, yeah, pay attention to that in case you do ask a question in the chat. He will get back with you. And Mike says, I love the Muppet Christmas Carol. Muppets rock. That is the truth.
You highlight the thing.
That's okay. And Walt Disney Birthplace, yes. And it's going to be with Robert Coker, Brent Young, and Dina, right? Miss Dina. All right. And bit too much eggnog. Yes.
Or coconut?
A little coconut water is what I'm drinking. So, okay, I think it is probably ready, Em. Are you ready to start the interview? Let's put this where we are in the little tiny screen on the bottom screen. And we will share as soon as I click the right buttons, which sometimes takes me a second because I'm old.
Welcome back, Bryan
Eisenhart.
There I go.
Mr. Bryan's West Coast Disney Adventure. That might be easier. So,
thank you for
doing this. You've been in Emma's live streams and chatting and following Emma's channel for a while. And you're a real big part of the Disney community that we watch. We see you online a lot. So thank you for being here on Emma's show.
Thank you for having me.
You're welcome.
So Emma has a bunch of questions for you. And we're going to put them up on the screen as always.
You might be familiar with some of the over interviews I did.
Yeah, because we kind of keep similar questions so we can get different people's opinions on the same stuff, right? Okay. All right. Are you ready for number one? Okay. Here's number one.
When did you first become a Disney fan?
Ooh, that's a tough one. When I was about 4 years old, my parents took me and my twin brother to Disneyland. Disney World was just really not really that big. It was just the Magic Kingdom back then. I still have yet to go to Disney World. That's coming up next October.
Oh, cool.
But I remember from when I was a kid that my favorite ride at Disneyland was number one, the King Arthur Carousel, because I was a huge fan of the merry-go-round type ride. Remember, I was about 4 years old.
Yeah.
And number two, which would surprise a lot of people, Mr. Toad's Wild Ride.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's one we rode. We haven't ridden the one in Disney World. Well, Emma has never ridden it. I
Because
rode
it was gone by the time we went.
It was Winnie the Pooh by the time Emma first went. But I rode Mr. Toad's probably when I was a kid, but I didn't remember how wild it really was. I mean, it's just all over the place. So that had to leave an impression on you when you're young.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, Mr. Toad's, for some reason, I think I remember, this is before it was refurbished, with all the craziness they had in there. But I remember that the final room, the HE double hockey sticks room,
That one.
It was still a little bit warm. It wasn't as warm as it usually is now, but it was a little bit warm back then. That's one thing that I remember about that ride.
Yeah.
And I remember actually being afraid of the Alice in Wonderland ride, because I was thinking, seeing all the leaves, I was thinking these caterpillars were going to be crawling up and going underneath the leaves, and oh my gosh, I'm going to fall out of this thing.
Oh, wow. Yeah, you never know when you're young.
Imagination for you. But that's what that park did. It really sparked your imagination.
Oh, it did. And I didn't realize how complex it was. We'd seen it online, but when we did, what? That's right. Yeah, your SpongeBob imagination. Oh gosh, that's right. I forgot about that. But yeah, I mean, when we did, Emma wanted to do the Walk and Walt's Footsteps tour at Disneyland, so we did that back in 2019.
That one definitely.
And that was the ride. Alice is the one they took us on. And so we had never seen that before. So that was very different. And being on the second floor and everything was something, we'd never experienced. It was neat.
The second floor of Alice in Wonderland is going above Mr. Toad's Wild Ride.
Oh, see, and I didn't even realize that. Really?
So they were both right in the same building.
They're occupying the same building. Oh, wow. Cool.
Yeah, if you look at Disneyland, with using like Google Maps or Google Earth, just spy down on it, you can see the show buildings, and you can see that a lot of those attractions are really, really close together. They didn't really have a whole lot of space to work with there, so they kind of had to.
Oh, yeah. And then that's the difference in Disney World to me, is that you have to walk between attractions. And when we did Disneyland that one time, it just, you leave through the exit line, and there's a new entrance queue right nearby. The next attractions are right next to one another. And they were that easy to get to, and we still missed probably at least a third of them. We missed a lot of the big ones that we would have to go back for one day, I guess.
Disneyland, I always tell people, make sure that you have 2 days just for Disneyland, because you're going to need it.
Yeah.
DCA, you could pretty much do that park in 1 day. But Disneyland, definitely 2 days for that park, because there's just so much to do there.
There really is. And we spent probably the better part of 1 day. We were there for a couple, but we spent the better part of 1 day doing the tour. So we really didn't get a chance to go and do, all the different attractions. So we were only on that one. I think Alice was the only attraction I think we did on the tour. Yeah. So anyway, well, we got way off topic on that one. That was my fault. Sorry about that.
That was my fault.
Well, this goes right hand in hand with that one. So here's number 2.
What are your earliest memories of Disneyland?
So anything beyond, I guess, what you already told us.
I actually have a photo album. It's in the garage somewhere, but there were a lot of photos that my dad took of me and my brother. There was some we were over at Carnation Plaza Gardens having like cake and ice cream. I think we were there for a birthday or something, but I can't quite remember the exact details. But there was pictures of me on the carousel. There was pictures of the Haunted Mansion in there. There was pictures of me going out of Mr. Toad's Wild Ride. There's a lot of pictures that just really spark some amazing memories of that park. And I remember way back when I used to go as a young kid, that we had the Astro Orbiter. It was actually the rocket to the moon,
Yeah.
where you would have to take the elevator all the way up to the second deck above the people mover, and you had the rocket jets, which now they kind of brought them down to ground level.
Yeah.
But way back then, it was way up there, just like the one at Disney World is now.
Yeah, you've ridden the one in Disney World. I don't know when, I don't remember, at least off the top of my head, when the People Mover closed. Were you able, when you were young, did you ride that?
Yeah, in fact, the last time I rode that was at grad night back in 1991.
Oh, wow.
And then I hadn't gone for a few years later, and they had taken it out and turned it into rocket rods.
Yeah.
That was the biggest mistake they could have made, was turning the People Mover track into the rocket rods, because that high speed ride, that track was not designed to take that kind of speed. And so it pretty much wrecked the track. So now in order to put something up, they're going to have to pretty much demolish the entire track and rebuild it. And that's going to cost millions to do. And I don't think,
especially in the middle of it, goes all through the park. Yeah, that makes sense. But that was cool if you actually got to do that, though, because the People Mover in Walt Disney World is one of our favorite kind of just relaxing and people watching kind of ride. Yeah. All right. You want to go to number 3?
Oh, wait a minute.
What?
Talk about the first one. You were talking that you and your brother went to Disney when y'all were 4.
Yeah.
Well, I went to Walt Disney World the first time when I was 4 as well.
That's right. You were the same age. You were at the Walt Disney World the same age that he went to Disneyland when he was 4.
Hey, there we go. There's something we have in common.
It's a good time to remember things. Emma says she remembers stuff. Now, I'm wondering sometimes if she remembers it through the photos or if she's actually remembering, because when you're young, it's hard.
In all honesty, it could be a bit of both, that the photos just spark the memories from the time. That's the way it was with me.
Yeah. There you go. That is cool. All right, you ready? Okay, number 3.
Why did you decide to start a Disney fan-based YouTube channel?
That is a good question. Well, I had my YouTube channel up for quite some time. I remember putting this one video. I took it down now, but there was a guy that I would catch at the bus stop when I was on my way to work. I would see him walking across the street from the McDonald's. It was right across the street from the bus stop. This guy would go over there, get his coffee, and rather than walk 50 feet to the crosswalk and use the crosswalk and walk safely, this guy would jaywalk across traffic with his coffee. And I was like, okay, the nerve of this ding dong. I mean,
is that the one on Harbor?
No, it was on Ball Road.
On Ball. Okay.
It was on Ball and Gilbert.
Okay.
But this is like after I had left Disney. I was doing a telemarketing job, taking the bus early in the morning to get to work.
Oh, okay.
And I'd see this guy that would just kind of mosey along, across the street. So I was like, okay, fine. Get my phone out, hit record. I had this, I had the Google account, so I knew I had a YouTube channel. I'm like, okay, fine. I'll just post this stuff up there, it's like, to shame this guy. Well, I mean, obviously he never watched it, but and that's where I started it. And then when I decided to turn it into a Disney focused channel, it was pretty much, you're going to laugh at this, but I was seeing the success from channels like Mouse Talk and other channels that they were just having a blast, like the Tim Tracker. And I was like, I could start doing stuff, because I'm like not far from Disney. I could go ahead and maybe live stream, but back then, this is before they had the 1,000 subscriber limit to live stream to YouTube from a phone. And so I was like, okay. So I managed to do one live stream, then pretty much just a couple other things, like a few concerts. But for the most part, I kind of still love Disney. So I was like, I'll when I'm in the parks, I'll try to film rides and things like that. Managed to only get one, but that's okay. I'm going to be getting more later.
Oh yeah.
But pretty much it was Walt and Melissa and maybe the Tim Tracker and a few others that inspired me to just go for it.
There you go. And then you probably heard they recently, within the last 2 weeks, they changed the requirement for live streaming on the YouTube app. It's back down to 50 now for a number of subscribers.
What?
So there's going to be thousands and thousands of new channels now that are going to be able to do
that's
it.
cool because I've got 87, so I guess I can now live stream from my phone. That's
and
awesome.
Emma was worried about getting to 1,000 to do it, but she has over 300 now, so she qualifies too. So that's pretty cool. I'm glad they did that. It's going to make a lot more people able to do that. Yeah. Yeah, cool?
Yeah.
All right, you ready for number 4?
Yeah.
All right.
What made you decide to become a cast member at Disneyland?
That's a really good question. Basically, I left college and I needed a job. My best friend was going down there to apply, and she still works there. She managed to get in because she had a little more work experience than I did. My only work experience was helping out at the music library and doing some tutoring in college. So not real customer service focused, just, help students out and get stuff done, help out at the music library, keep it open later than 4:00, which they really appreciated that. And so I just needed a job. So I was like, okay, I'll go in there, went and applied and didn't get it. So I'm like, okay, well, there's other jobs in the area. I ended up going into Buena Park and applying at Knott's Berry Farm and got hired at the Chicken Dinner Restaurant as a busboy.
Oh, okay.
Working there for 1 year and 1 week. And right about a year, almost a year I was there, I decided, okay, what the heck? I'm going to go back over to Disneyland and try again. Got almost a year of experience with customer service. Let's see where this takes me. So I go in there and it's a group interview. I'm like, okay, this is not something I'm used to, but whatever. I'm talking to people at work every day.
Yeah,
like no big deal, right? So while the interviewer is asking us questions, I'm bouncing questions off the people on either side of me in the room. I'm interacting with them in addition to answering the interviewer's questions. And I think that was the ticket that got me in at Disneyland, because what they're looking for is somebody who's not afraid to talk to people that they've never met before.
That's a good point. Yeah, that makes sense.
Think about this. When you're at a theme park, at Disneyland, at Knott's Berry Farm, at Magic Mountain, at Universal, when you're at one of those parks, or Six Flags Over Texas, or Fiesta Texas, when you're out at one of those parks working there, you're meeting hundreds, thousands of people a day. You have to be able to be comfortable talking with different people from different backgrounds. If you're not, then you're going to struggle. So they want people that are naturally like that. So, Emma, I think you would actually do really good. You're gaining your confidence.
Yeah, there you go. And I think too, with a lot of cast members, I guess unless they're working, well, maybe even if they're working on the attractions, I'm not sure. But a lot of times when people go up to a cast member, it's because they need help or something else. So it's not like you're talking to them, just about the weather or whatever. You're actually trying to help them solve a problem. So you got to be confident to do that.
When I was working at Disneyland, we had some rules there that we had to follow. We had the 4 keys. Now it's the 5 keys, but originally it was the 4 keys of safety, courtesy, show, and efficiency. And it was in that order of importance. Safety always came first. You can always sacrifice courtesy to safety. So if somebody's really being a jerk and climbing up on the rails, you can just call them out and say, hey, get off the rails. You're going to hurt yourself. You're going to hurt somebody else. But only if it's, hampering safety. But courtesy is so important that you can forego the show or the efficiency as long as you're being polite and courteous with people. Show is basically, when you're working at Disneyland or Disney World, you're in the show. That's why they're called cast members.
Yeah.
So you're basically playing a role. I was playing the role of a busser when I started, which basically that was my job. But part of my job was also getting those questions from people like, "Where's the bathroom?" or "What time is the 4:00 parade?"
That's right.
And yes, they do ask that question. It's true. My usual response was, "Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't catch that question. Can you please repeat that again slower for me?"
Yeah.
And when they do, they realize, "Oh, I answered my own
Oops.
question."
I tell you what, yeah, when you're on vacation, I know it happens to me. It's like
Yeah.
sometimes you just want to let everything go, and sometimes that includes a little bit of your common sense.
Yeah,
Oh.
it does. It does.
Right?
I'm guilty of the same thing.
You're just having a good time.
Exactly.
Oh. Well, there you go. All righty. You ready? Number 5.
We're only on 5?
Yeah.
Yep.
But it relates to number 4. So let's move on to that one. Watch. Remember? We read them through before.
What type of roles did you play at Disneyland?
Yeah. So you kind of touched on
I
that.
like that question. I like how that one was worded. Emma, you must have written these out, right?
You're good at it. I helped.
Okay. The roles that I was involved in was primarily in foods. I was doing custodial busing, which is basically the quick service restaurants at Disneyland. Back when I was there, they didn't have staff that would be busing those restaurants. Back before I got hired, like several years before I got hired, the custodial department, the ones that would clean up the park, empty the cans, clean the ride queues, they were also responsible for taking care of the restaurants as well and busing the restaurants. What had happened before I got hired was the busing department from custodial got separated off and moved into the foods department as its own division in the foods department. Which, I mean, it was a perfect fit because they got to learn more, focus more on the food service angle of it. And well, while I was working there, Disney California Adventure opened up on February 8th of 2001. Well, at that time, they gave us the opportunity to do one of two things. You can either transfer over to Disney's California Adventure, or you can stick around and gain seniority. Well, I was at the time a CR, or casual regular, which is basically below part-time. That means basically CR is you're going to be getting up to 40 hours during peak season and some nights and weekends off season.
Okay.
So when it's summer, you can get up to 40 hours. When it's not summer or like fall, yeah, you might be getting like nights and weekends. But when DCA opened up before DCA opened up, when they're sending people over there to train, my seniority jumped up to part-time. So now I was at such a seniority rate where I can get pretty much 30 hours a week guaranteed every week. And I was getting medical, which that was huge.
Yeah, that's a big deal.
2000s.
Yeah.
And then when they closed the busing department, I went into outdoor vending because I was at that point thinking, I just want to get as many hours as I can. And outdoor vending was the department that had a lot of hours. That was the department that would handle popcorn, churros, pretzels, the hot dogs.
Wow.
One of your regular viewers I see in there, Dean the turkey legster. They would handle the turkey legs, and some cast members in outdoor venue were responsible for making the turkey legs.
Okay.
So that was a 2-day training just for outdoor vending. One day you focus on some carts, another day you focus on other carts. And it was amazing.
And I tell you talk about the number of people you deal with. I mean, that's nonstop. Yeah. Wow. That'd be cool.
It is, but it was also stressful because outdoor vending, we did not have cash registers. We had little pop tills.
Oh,
So
I wouldn't have thought of that. Yeah.
so when guests would come up to us and order 4 churros, $2.75 a churro, you had to instantly calculate right out, oh, that's $11.
Uh,
You had to be on it and be on your math in your head,
Yeah.
or some people would take a calculator out there and just enter it in. But another role that I had when I was in busing was a volunteer position on certain days during the parades, like the Parade of the Stars. About, say, 45 minutes before the parade would start, they would the guest control people on the parade route would put out the call to various stores and restaurants and say, send us over a couple of cast members for land help. And I was always one of the volunteers to go out and help out on the hub for the parade route. My job over there was basically setting up the rope that would stretch from the popcorn cart on the hub all the way across the main street and kind of cut off an area so we could have some viewing there.
Yeah.
And once the parade started, I would leave the popcorn rope and head on over to the walkway right over from Coke Corner all the way out in front of Plaza Pavilion, and basically keep that walkway moving so that people weren't stopping and taking pictures of the parade or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that job was where I had the most fun.
Well, that's what I was going to ask you. Do you mind if I ask you this question? Because Emma, we've got some cool videos of Emma interacting with the folks that were doing, and I didn't know what they called it, but I guess what I was thinking was like crowd control or something, But basically, the people that are manning or staffing the parade route, it seems like those cast members have a good time. It's like they're I know they got a tough job, but they're still having a good time with the guests. What?
One of my favorite.
sorry. Have you heard of the famous cast member named Barbara at Walt Disney World?
Nope, I've never been to Walt Disney World.
Yeah, but there's a cast member. I don't know if she's still there because it's been several years ago.
Yeah.
But there was a cast member named Barbara who used to dance a lot in the hub, and we actually saw her one day when we were there. Actually, she was at the train station.
Yeah.
And we just shouted Barbara, and everybody, she was like one of these cast members that everybody knew from being online.
Yeah, kind of like Maynard over at Disneyland.
Oh yeah, definitely. That's right.
And
that's
Maynard is a rarity at Disneyland. He pretty much comes up with his own scripts.
Oh.
So he doesn't follow the traditional scripts. He follows the Maynard script. But management sees that he is so popular that they give him permission to pretty much go off on his own because they know that he's got the company's best interest at heart. He's there pretty much to entertain the guests.
Yeah.
One of my favorite things I like to do when I was doing the popcorn rope was I would be on the lookout for the birthday buttons.
Oh yeah.
And especially if I would see like a teenage girl that looked like she could be embarrassed easily, I would test the crowd a little bit. Like if, say, I were to see Emma in the crowd, it was her birthday, I'm like, oh, looks like we've got a birthday girl here. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Emma's birthday. Let's give her a big old round of applause. And if I got enough people ready to embarrass the heck out of Emma, then I would go ahead and do this call and response birthday song that I would get as many people in the audience as I could. And I think it went something like, I don't know, but I've been told Emma here is getting old.
The old Army Mark song.
That's right. That's right.
And I would try my darndest to just get them blushing as much as possible, because that was how I would have my fun.
Oh, I'll tell you what,
everybody around me is having fun because they're getting this poor girl embarrassed, which
well, they might have been embarrassed at the time, but it's a great memory for them, I'm sure.
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, one of the things that we went to Magic Kingdom on Emma's birthday one year, I think you were 15 or 16? I can't remember. It's on one of her videos on her channel. We have the memory posted as one of her memories. But it was the block party parade or whatever it was called. You know,
think it was
move it, shake it, celebrate it.
Oh yeah,
something like that.
Move it, shake it, celebrate parade.
Anyway,
Party,
one of the
parade.
cast members that was in the parade doing part of the show came to Emma because she had a shirt on that said, "Today really is my birthday," because a lot of people have birthday buttons, you know, for the month or whatever.
Yep.
And he came up and was dancing with her, and she just like, you know, she's kind of like she's in the street dancing with him. It was so much fun. And you can see that video. It's really cool.
They actually still using the vehicle still.
Yeah, they're using them for their cavalcades recently. Yeah.
Yep.
Well, that was the next question, actually. So I'll throw it up there. What are some of your favorite memories of being a cast member?
Oh my gosh.
I read that one. Sorry.
Well, that was one. That was one of my favorites. Another one that I would do is because we were in foods, we called it our command post as a busser. It was basically where we would store the pans and brooms, where we would store the can liners if we had to go and dump cans from the area. Yeah. It was also where we would store mops if we needed to clean up any messes like spilled drinks or a code V, which, by the way, if you ever hear that one, it's universal at throughout Disney. Code V stands for
somebody.
Code V for vomit.
Oh,
yes, we had to learn how to clean those up, and we did it by experience.
No training on that one, huh?
Really not okay.
Yeah. No. They trained us on how to do a code V backstage. And the way they would do it was by manufacturing one.
Oh, gee.
And some trainers would have their formula that they would use and it really looked like someone threw up. Yeah. Sometimes they would put one of my friends was a trainer, had her formula she would use was like let's see, I think it was Thousand Island dressing, mayonnaise, mustard, some croutons for chunks, and ranch dressing, mixed it up in a cup, and then they would take them backstage and dump the cup out on the ground, and it really did look like
gross.
Someone had thrown up.
Oh, well, that couldn't have been one of your favorite memories.
No, that wasn't one of my favorite ones. But some of my favorite memories was in the command post. We also had a big old huge bag of cheap suckers. And when my area would be pretty much clean and I'd see there's some kids in the area, I would go into the command post and grab out a big old handful of these suckers, like a big old little bouquet of suckers here. And I would go out there and I'd find some kids that were looking like they're maybe a little bit down or maybe they're having fun. And I would say, you know what you really need? I'd have my hand behind my back with the suckers. And I'd say something like, you know what you really need? You need a good pop in the mouth. And I whip out my hand with this big old bouquet of suckers there, lollipops.
That's surprising.
I used to love doing that because it was unexpected.
Yeah.
And nobody knew, none of the guests knew that we had this stash of lollipops in the command post, which that was my bit was handing out lollipops to the kids.
Well, when we would go when Emma was little, you waiting in lines and all that kind of stuff really gets old, especially when you're little. And we would
lightning lane.
Yeah, well, that didn't happen back then.
I know.
That was, I think that was before Fast Pass, probably. Oh. But anyway, we would bring those little small bottles of bubbles and hand those out.
Now they have bubble wands.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, they didn't have that then. We bring those little ones and they, hand them out to kids, and they would sit there and they'd play with that for 20 minutes.
I could find the person that came up with those bubble wands.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Why?
If you've ever been
They go
blasted in the
everywhere.
face with a stream of bubbles,
Somebody gets you in the face.
some
That would
kids,
surprise you.
well, they're not paying attention. Like, look, and they aim the bubbles.
Oh my God.
Like,
Yep.
okay, yeah,
Oh
turn
God.
that off, please.
Something that can hurt their eye.
Well, if you get
Yeah.
soap in you, yeah, but hopefully that wouldn't happen.
Right.
But yeah, it's just kind of fun to occupy time, right?
Oh
While
yeah,
they're in line or whatever
parents
else.
love them because it keeps their kids occupied, but the people around them don't like getting blasted
Yeah.
with bubbles too much.
Yeah. That's right.
Especially if the ones that are filming in the park, bubbles can kind
Yeah.
of get into their equipment,
Well, that, and then I guess the other thing that's similar to that came along when you were little, I think they had, was the spinners with the lights. So you'd
Yep.
hold the thing and it would spin and the lights would be, those
Yep,
were cool.
ODV would sell those.
They still do that.
Yeah, they do. They still do those.
Yeah, they have
I
your
do
basic
remember.
ones. They have your themed ones with characters on top, and
Mm-hmm.
yeah, those are fun. We would play with them at the office.
Yeah, there you go. All right. Well, here, you ready for number 7?
Oh, what I do have a question.
Okay, well, go ahead.
Did you see what they put in the wall window at the bar apartment house at
Yes,
Disneyland? They put
Yes,
a
what-
Christmas tree.
We heard they put a
okay.
Christmas tree
What they
recently.
do, Emma,
Yeah.
what they do is this: throughout the year, they always have the lamp lit. Ever since Walt passed, because while he was alive, any cast member would know that he was in the park by looking up above the firehouse, and if they saw the light was lit in his apartment, they knew Walt's in the park. So after he passed, they left that light on permanently for him. And then every year, right around just after Halloween, when they put all the decorations up, they change that light out for a Christmas tree. So
Okay.
yeah, that's 100% true.
All this time, we didn't realize they did the Christmas tree
okay.
because she was concerned that meant that the lamp was going away
No, they just replaced the lamp with a Christmas tree.
during Christmas time.
Oh,
It's just for Christmas. Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm sure they leave it on anyway, right?
They do.
Yeah.
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 Here's a question.
What's that?
Will Walt be okay with a Christmas tree in front of his window, even though he's a spirit in there?
Even though he's a spirit. Would Walt's ghost be okay with a Christmas tree? Is that what you're asking? Probably. It's still
Yeah,
his
he
park.
would be.
I think he'd still be happy being in the park either way, right?
Oh yeah.
I actually know the story of that cat where that encounter Walt spirit in there.
Yeah, we heard some stories when we did that tour about cast members thinking they either saw Walt or felt that Walt was there or something like that, right?
Oh yeah.
Some interesting stories.
One of the things that I found out from a guest, was before one of my shifts. I think I had the day off that day, and I was in the park as a guest. And one of the regulars, one of the annual pass holders, knew me, and so we got to talking. He said that he used to come into the park when Walt was still alive, and he had seen Walt Disney in the park, and oftentimes he would carry around a little notepad, and if he saw anything, even if it's something as simple as a light bulb out on Main Street or chipped paint on a trash can, jot that down in his little notebook. And so once he made his rounds throughout the park, all those little things that he put in his notebook that got passed on to facilities, and that very night, all that stuff would be fixed. Even if it was like chip paint on a trash can, they would paint it up, quick dry, and good to go the next day. But that was just the way he was. He wanted his park to be better than all of those seaside carnies that were out there. He wanted to be clean. He wanted to be a place where families could enjoy each other. He wanted it to be a place where people felt safe. That's why Main Street looked immaculate. That's why everything in his park had to look absolutely beautiful.
Yeah. And now in Disney World, they call it like being in the bubble, right? Because you feel like you're there and it's a different world because, it does have that focus. Now, it changes over time and stuff like that. Different people put emphasis on different things, but you still feel like you're a little bit safer there, right? At least I do. And
They call the outside wall of Disneyland and Walt Disney World the berm for a reason.
Yeah.
Because once you're inside that berm, you're not supposed to see anything from the outside world. They don't have any newspapers in there. You can't even see like telephone poles out in the area. You're not supposed to see anything from the outside because it's that special bubble that all your senses are 100% controlled by that part. And even in lands, I mean, if you were over in by the rivers of America, there's a tree that if you're looking towards the Matterhorn, this tree perfectly blocks out the Matterhorn, so you can't even see into Fantasyland because the Matterhorn's not going to fit in New Orleans Square. It's not going to fit in Critter Country.
Yeah.
So they have those blockers there to keep you in that specific area.
Yeah, it's pretty cool, huh? The detail is just amazing. There was somebody I remember hearing about. I can't remember who was doing the interview. I think it was Jim Hill or something was interviewing somebody years ago, but I think it was on a podcast where they were talking about, people say that they go to Disney and they're in this other world and it's safe and they feel comfortable and all that stuff because it's where they believe the world should be. It's the way people think things ought to be, and that's why they relax.
Yeah.
And that the world we actually live in is not the way it's supposed to be. And that's why we're stressed. And that's why, so it's not like we're escaping. I guess his emphasis was that we're actually in a place where we're more comfortable. It's not that we're getting away from the real world. It's sort of like we're there in a place where you feel like this is the way the world should be in the first place. And that's kind of, I don't know if I said that well, but that's probably true in a way.
Emma, you're very versed in Disney history and Disney trivia.
Thank you.
Do you know what the sign on the arch on either side of the entrance, on either entrance to the Magic Kingdom or Disneyland says?
Here today, you will be one of the past, the present, and the future.
Well, something that you have them right
Here
up
you leave today and enter the world of yesterday, tomorrow in fantasy.
Go look at them. Well, you have both of them right there.
Yeah, this is the one in Disneyland.
Right.
These are from Etsy.
Yep.
Oh yes.
She has a little recreation from Etsy somebody made.
Yeah, I've seen that. I believe. Let me think. Hold on. It was. Oh wow! Now I can't remember his channel's name.
This one, I think the person that made it, I believe, was Gracie Manor Designs. I think on Etsy.
Oh, nice.
Something like that. But we got her the one from each part because the design's a little different.
Yeah.
But it is sort of. It's like, hey guys, where you're going is different. This is a place that you're going to see a lot of different stuff, but it's something you need to kind of be open to doing. And then when you get there, you just kind of feel relaxed. My wife, Melissa, and Emma's mom was saying that when she was there, and she's a big Disney fan, but I don't know if she's as big a Disney fan as Emma is. And maybe not even as big as me, because I'm close to you, but I don't know if I'm that far. But anyway.
I'm a Kyle girl.
Oh.
I mean, Daddy girl.
Yeah, you're
not Kyle girl, Daddy girl. I don't know why I said Kyle.
Because you're crazy, that's why. But anyway, Melissa was saying that she actually started tearing up going underneath that bridge when you read the sign and you realize where you are and you know the history, you know, and what it's supposed to represent. That's really cool.
And well, when you guys were in Disneyland, did you get to go see Great Moments with Mr. Lincoln?
Yes.
Yeah, it was during the tour.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Did you see the bench?
Yes. We got a picture in front of the bench.
We wrote the Haunted Mansion.
And we did, yeah, we rode Haunted Mansion. I think
I
that,
can't get ready.
oh, she was so excited to see the Hatbox Ghost. That was one of the highlights for her, was to see Haunted Mansion with the Hatbox Ghost, even though it was holiday.
Now we got Paul freaking boy.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
It was holiday, but she still got to see Hatbox Ghost, so she was happy.
And I'm going to make you jealous. When I was working at Disneyland, I got to go on a preview, a cast member only preview of, this was like the first time they did it, of the Haunted Mansion Holiday.
Oh wow. Yeah, because
before they opened it to guests,
yeah,
I was one of the cast members that got to test out the ride
and see how
and
it
that
flowed.
was a blast that first year. That was back when they had the Scarrels.
Oh wow.
If you ever want to see something amazing, look up the Haunted Mansion Holiday Scarrels, and it's basically kind of Halloween parodies of Christmas carols.
Oh,
done by Lock, Shock, and Barrel, and all the Nightmare Before Christmas crew.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Oh, that. Oh, the film cast.
Mm-hmm.
That was pretty. That would be pretty cool.
Some of the songs they did were, let's see, "Wreck the Halls with Bones and Spiders." Old Mansion Tree.
Oh goodness, that's cool.
Yeah,
we'll have to check that out.
First year they did it.
You have to check that out. We'll have to look for.
Unfortunately, it was the only year they did it because apparently it wasn't that popular to the guests, but I loved it.
Okay.
That's
cool.
I'm guessing that wasn't when Hattie came back, because I know he came back several years ago.
And for the 50th anniversary is when he came, I think. Or was it the 40th? I don't know. He came back within the last 10, 15 years.
I think it's 2015.
It could have been.
Because
there was an anniversary.
Yeah,
it came back for a certain reason. I don't think it was the 50th, because that would have been 2019.
Yeah.
So that would have been, it must have been earlier than that, maybe 45th or 40th or something. Anyway.
I was there for the 45th.
Yeah. So that was pretty cool.
I think it was the 45th.
It could be.
Yeah.
All right, you ready?
Yeah.
Because we're only on number 6 and we got 15 and we've been talking 45 minutes.
Yeah.
So we're going to have to get rocking here.
Yeah.
All right, number 7. Go ahead. That's just wind outside.
I heard it.
All right.
How has being a former cast member changed your
perspective?
Your perspective.
There you go.
On being a Disney fan, or has it?
That's a good question. I have a story about that. My first weekend working there, I was coming off from a shift that I had over at the Riverbell Terrace. Picked up a weekend, a couple of Saturday to Sunday there, just a couple of short shifts, busing shifts, and backstage over by where the character costuming building is, they have an area where you can go underneath, downstairs and underneath the building, basically kind of cut through the downstairs portion of the building to get to Harbor Point, which is where you would clock out at. Well, I was coming up on the door to the stairs, which is next to character costuming, and Snow White is coming up behind me, full costume. Now, this is backstage, so no guests were around. So, being the gentleman that I was, I held the door open for her, and she was on her phone talking to one of her friends, and she was cursing like a sword.
No.
I was just back then, before I had worked there, Snow White was like my favorite princess. I mean, I used to have a big old crush on her when I was a kid. But here I'm sitting there hearing Snow White. Those bleep kids were climbing all over me, and I was like, okay.
I know what those words are.
That was a magic shattering experience, but one thing that I came across that I realized is, the people that work there. The friends of the characters are people too, so
Yeah.
don't abuse them.
Yep.
They like hugs,
Yeah.
so you're safe there, Emma. But don't go climbing on them.
That's right.
I know how to do with characters. I have done it before. I'm not like a little kitty.
That's right. You have definitely met a lot of characters.
I still been doing the hug. I know it's really perspective of still going over the safety things for COVID still.
Yeah.
And I understand that.
Well, hopefully one day that'll change, right?
Yeah.
Change back to what it used to be.
Being a former cast member, what it has shown me is because I tended to meet up with a lot of the characters I would see them backstage, I would get to know their stories. And so now when I go in the park as a guest, I actually have more fun with the characters as a guest now than I ever did before. I had one interaction a couple of years ago when I was in the park on Main Street, and this is over by Town Square, like right in front of City Hall. They had the most unusual character pairing I've ever seen. It was Pluto and Cruella de Vil.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a weird one. Now,
Yeah. Now I know as a
is this the kind of character that can make a life Disney?
I don't know.
Well, as a former cast member, I knew that the reason why they paired Pluto with Cruella was because apparently they didn't have enough hosts in the area. So Cruella was, surreptitiously acting like a mouthpiece for Pluto if she had to, but she was still well within her character.
Okay.
And what I did was I was basically, I was in my 40s, and I was like, Cruella, I am so much of a better dog trainer than you are. And she stomps up to me. Oh, yeah, prove it. I go, Pluto, come here, Pluto. And Pluto comes over to me. I'm like, all right, Pluto, hop up and down on one paw. So he starts hopping up and down on one foot, And then I was like, good boy, Pluto. And he stops hopping. Cruella turns back to him and she says, he didn't say stop hopping. So hopping again. Then I'm like, okay, Pluto, you can stop hopping. Come here, Pluto. Come here, Pluto. And I basically scratched him behind his ear because, Pluto's a dog.
That's right.
I scratched him behind his ear and I kind of whispered in his ear loud enough so the guests around me could hear. And I said, Pluto, I know what she needs. She needs a big lick.
Oh, gee.
So he walked over to Cruella. And of course, Cruella in character, dog, So as a cast, if I hadn't been a cast member, I wouldn't have the knowledge to be able to play with the characters in that way.
Yeah, kind of know what they can do and what they can't do.
Mm-hmm,
Yeah,
exactly.
The do and don't
the
for
do's
cast
and
members
don'ts.
and former cast members.
Well, you remember one of the things we noticed in Disneyland, the visit we had in 2019, was that the characters are a little more accessible in Disneyland. They just walk around.
Yep.
And in Disney World, they're always in a meet and greet location. You got a line, but Disneyland, Mickey's just walking across town square. And you're wondering, how is this happening? Why is he not getting mobbed? So what's different, I guess, in Disneyland that, from your perspective, what makes that possible?
It's the size of the park. Disneyland, when I started working there, the park capacity was only 84,000 people. So on New Year's Eve, which, by the way, never, never, never go to Disneyland or Disney World on New Year's Eve. That is the number one worst day to go. Unless you're crazy and you like being mobbed by thousands of people.
Yeah.
Don't go on New Year's Eve.
Oh, sorry.
Go
ahead.
Go ahead. All right.
Now, but the thing about those parks is because the park capacity is not nearly as strenuous as the Magic Kingdom, the characters can get around a little bit easier.
Yeah.
They're not being mobbed by hundreds of thousands of people.
Right.
And that makes sense. it was just so unusual to see. I'm like, well, where's all the people and where's the line and the ropes and the, it was a different thing. And I don't know if it still is, but it seemed like on the videos that we've watched prior to going, you have characters like the Mad Hatter that, they kind of roam around the different parts of Main Street and others.
Yep.
And that seemed unusual to me, but people follow them. They go, they go to the park to meet, that Mad Hatter that day because they know how he is, right?
Fun fact about the Mad Hatter and Alice is when I was busing at Refreshment Corner, Coke Corner, during the day, right around 2:00, Alice and the Mad Hatter would come out, and usually it was Johnny, the piano player. They would team up with him, and they would play musical chairs with the kids.
Remember? I think we've seen some videos on that from years ago.
That was a daily occurrence. That wasn't just something that just happened every now and then.
Right?
Yeah. Yep. That's cool. That's cool. All right. Well, we got to move on because we got a bunch more. Are you ready?
Well, I do have a question.
Okay.
You think about when you first rode the kite back when you were 4. Now, what did you think of Paul Krieger's narrative after Go Coke and the ride?
Well, I didn't really have memories of Paul Frees when I was 4, but as an adult, hearing his narration, it was absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
He was pretty much the voice of not only Haunted Mansion, but Pirates of the Caribbean, too.
Yeah.
Now, there's another famous voice. There was a voice at Disneyland, too. But unfortunately, his voice is lost to us now. Back in the day, years ago, Thurl Ravenscroft was the voice of the train announcer. Your attention, please.
Yeah, that's right. That changed. Yeah.
That was Thurl Ravenscroft. And do you know what other famous character he was the voice of?
I think you know this one.
You should know this one.
No, I think that was Jack Wagner.
Oh.
But no, Thurl Ravenscroft. Who else?
I'll give you a hint. They're great.
Tony the Tiger.
That's right. That was him.
Not sponsored.
Not sponsored. That's right. Tell me she's not a YouTuber. Oh, goodness. All right. Well, let's talk about the Disney fan community because you have a question on that, right?
Right.
So here you go. Read that question.
The Disney fan community
is awesome. That was my typo. Sorry.
Oh, it's awesome.
Right.
What do you think makes it different than other fan communities?
I can answer that question in one word. Positivity.
Would you agree?
Yeah.
I think there are some channels that do news and other things, and and they have a right to be critical on certain things, and we are too sometimes. But I think generally speaking, you're right. I mean, people that are fans of Disney and that spend their time doing things like this online are doing it because they love it and because they want to share what makes them happy with other people.
Now, I have seen other channels. I'm not going to name any in particular, but I have seen some that tend to do a lot of rants. And yeah, that stuff is going to get its views. But for the most part, it's not a real part of the Disney community, of the Disney YouTube community. But channels like Walt and Melissa, like Diz Our Dream, like Josh and Jenna.
Yeah.
Like Kelly, the Mickey Bunch, like even Pete McDevitt, all these guys, all these people, they all are very, very positive, decent people. And another thing that I've noticed a lot of people in the Disney YouTube community have in common is just something I've personally noticed is a lot of them have shared faith, which I think that is a big reason why we have so many happy people here.
It's a good point. I hadn't thought about that, but I think you're right. Come to think of it.
Yeah. Oh,
What?
I know that this might be a little off topic, but have you ever seen Oswald the Lucky Rabbit at DCA or
Yes, I
Disneyland
have.
in Ontario?
Yep, I've seen Oswald over at DCA. He likes to hang out over by the entrance, kind of over by where that classic car is. That's one of the places he likes to hang out.
Emma, that's one of her holy grail character meets, I think, is to meet Oswald.
I have a picture on my phone of Oswald in DCA. I might have to send it over to you.
Oh, goodness. She would love to meet Oswald one day. All right. Well, this goes along with what you were saying about the other channels.
Yeah.
So there's number 9. Go ahead.
Okay. You are a moderator for several Disney fan channels on YouTube. What does a moderator do and why do you like doing it?
Well, it's funny you should mention that. Moderators, their job is to be the voice of the channel when the host of the channel when that host of the channel is otherwise engaged. So if people are asking questions, if mods know the answer to the question, they can answer that question for the host. So basically, they're like an extra set of eyes for the host. And the biggest job that we have as moderators is keeping the chat family friendly. We keep an eye out for people that are being abusive and not being decent people. We keep an eye out for people who are overly trying to promote themselves or things along those lines.
You have some people that want to talk about politics and other stuff, and it's like, we don't need all that.
Yeah, we need to be politician people.
Yeah.
We don't need to be negative.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I love politics. I'm a proud American. I absolutely love politics. I love the process. But as in the Disney YouTube community, politics does not have a place.
Yeah.
We're there for Disney. So whether I agree with the statements or not, it's my job as a moderator to get that stuff out of there.
Yeah. So what do you like about doing it?
I like helping the channels. I like seeing channels grow. I was a subscriber of Walt and Melissa's channel back when they had right around 200 subscribers.
Oh, wow. I didn't know you'd been there that long. Yeah.
Yeah. I found their channel because I was doing some research looking for park overviews for the Magic Kingdom and for Disney World. And since I was doing that search on YouTube, one of the top videos that came up was this Mouse Talk channel. I was like, okay, they're doing these land overviews. I'm like, that sounds pretty cool. It was some of the earlier videos. Now, granted, some of the information in there is a little bit outdated now, but back then it was like, okay. I mean, the way they handled it was like in podcast format. It was basically like they were giving advice to a trusted friend, like to a friend that was asking them, what should we do over there?
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, these guys, I mean, their style is different, and I like what they're doing. So I was like, okay, instant subscribe. And I started following them. And it was like, then he started live streaming and jumped on the bandwagon there. I was sitting there waiting at the bus, and I noticed him doing a test stream. I noticed Walt doing a test stream in the morning. I was like, oh, live at 5 in the morning? Really? So I was like, okay, check it out. And I messaged him. I asked him, hey, what was up with the live streams? Oh, I'm just testing some things out. That's when he started doing the live streams in the Thursday Disney Talk.
Yeah.
Which I got into that. And it was, I mean, his channel was pretty much my gateway drug into the Disney YouTube community, so to speak. You know what I mean?
That's what got him introduced to the community and just built from there, right? That's what he's saying. He's using that as a term to explain. Yeah. It's not like it's a real drug.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's a really cool thing. I mean, we found their channel a few months before we went to Disney World in was it November of last year?
Yeah.
I think so. It was probably late summer, something like that we found their channel,
It was
and
one time.
that really what got us hooked on watching live streams.
Yeah.
Because there was one of the first live streams we'd ever seen done, and then from there we found a lot of other folks that Emma's talked to and everything else. But that's something that because of this whole pandemic thing and everything else, I think live streaming has grown so much, especially from the parks.
Oh yeah.
That, it's something we enjoy doing, and we'll do several times a week if we can find something, that they're in a park we want to see or just something fun going on. Yeah.
He had said hi to me in the video a few times.
Oh yeah, Mr. Walt's always doing that, huh? When he sees you. Well, he's great about anybody that comes in. He always welcomes people to the stream, and Miss Melissa.
Oh yeah, that's another thing I really love about Mouse Talk and the other streamers out there is they're not afraid to. They're really open with wanting to meet their subscribers.
Yeah,
I mean, I'm the same way. The first YouTuber I actually got to meet in person was Meg.
Okay.
From Mickey's Magic.
Yeah.
And she came out for Disneyland. And I, since I'm literally like 10 minutes away from the park, I busted up there, went up there, and I was sitting there over by the where the kennel used to be. And I was just sitting there listening to a book. I'd let her know, hey, I'm over here, And she came by. We were sitting there talking. I got to meet her and her mom, both amazing people. And I shared some of my my little bits of advice about Disneyland, what you should do, what you shouldn't do, and all that.
Yeah. And
I mean, she was really nice. And now she is the number 1 supplier of ears for my girlfriend. So
of Mickey ears, Minnie ears.
Being your girlfriend.
No, to his girlfriend.
Oh,
my girlfriend lives down here.
Yeah.
No, Meg is just the one that makes the ears for her.
Yes, she makes it. Isn't that cool? That's cool.
Emma's them on Etsy, right?
Oh, does she sell them on Etsy? She's asking.
Yep, she does.
Yeah, we'll have to go check that out.
I believe it's Mickey's Magic 28, and my girlfriend says they are the most comfortable ears she's ever had.
Emma has a bigger collection now, but her biggest complaint is that you wear them too long and they start to hurt on the side.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so we're gonna have to check that out. Yeah,
check out Meg's channel or Meg's Etsy shop because my girlfriend's never had any complaints about Meg's ears.
Good deal.
Okay.
All right. Well, this is the last question that's specific. The next 11. Listen to me.
Well,
the next 5 are just for fun.
Well, actually, it's 4.
It's 11 through 15. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15.
Okay.
There you go. Okay.
I miscounted.
That's okay. So here's number 10, and then we get to the other ones. Right? Okay.
What advice do you have for a Disney fan-made YouTube channel
like Emma's?
Since we don't live near the Disney park.
You know what? Just keep doing what you're doing. You are doing absolutely fine. The biggest advice I have is just keep cranking it. You're doing amazing.
Be persistent. Do what you enjoy, right?
Mm-hmm. And one bit of advice I've heard from a lot of YouTubers is stay consistent.
Yeah.
If you're scheduling to do your interviews on one specific day of the week, stick to it.
Okay.
Because people will start noticing, Emma's doing an interview Saturday night. I want to make sure that I'm there for that. Or Emma's doing she's dropping a one of her what would you ask Walt question little shorts on this day. So keep it consistent because people love consistency and you'll gain subscribers through consistency.
You see that? Yeah. One of the things that when we asked one of her first interviews, early interview was with Lou Mangello.
Yeah.
And
That's why my dad had
oh yeah, that's the shirt.
too good.
I forgot I had that
with
on.
the Lou icon.
Yeah, that's one of his
Oh,
things.
can you do it?
Yeah, it just says
Can you
choose to
see
go.
it?
That's one of the things that he has on his shop.
Okay,
But
good.
one of the things that he said was treat the people that are watching, your audience, so to speak,
Yeah.
as your friends, because they are. If they're taking their time to come see you, then they consider themselves your friends or wanting to know more about you. So you have to treat them that way. You have to be loyal to them and support them where you can too.
I have always told people that are in chat or other YouTubers that are East Coast based that if they're ever out here in California, in Southern California, let me know. I would love to meet up with you over downtown Disney, because it's like, I mean, I love having fun with people because I'm a total people person.
Yeah, that's cool. All right, you ready for the fun ones? Well, those were fun. I always say that, but then all of them are fun. But these are specifically making decisions about favorite things and stuff. What would you choose? Oh, you're going to put that away?
Yeah.
Okay, you put that away. Go ahead. What you doing?
Keep going backwards. Don't fall.
You're good. All right.
I just don't want
No, you're fine. You're fine. Okay, yeah.
Now you have to be like a Democrat again.
You're good. All right, so here is the 11 through 15, number 1 or number 11 in this case. Go ahead, your turn.
If you could have a year's supply of any Disney park snack, just like in Disneyland Paris, Euro Disneyland, Tokyo Disneyland, Shanghai Disneyland, Hong Kong Disneyland.
Any snack.
And what snack would it be?
A
year's supply of a Disney snack.
Any Disney snack. Well, I'm not much of a sweet tooth, but I am a chocoholic.
So is this one.
Okay, so I could think. I could do the Mickey Premium bars, but they have those in the grocery store now.
Yeah.
I could do the chipwiches, but they have those in the grocery store too. Let's see. Mickey pretzels. Well, those are basically super pretzels, and I know they have those in the grocery store too.
Yeah.
The one Disney snack, if I had a year's supply of, I would have to say Bengal beef skewers from the Bengal barbecue. I'm a huge fan of teriyaki.
Yeah.
And oh my God, those are so good.
You know who said that same answer was Jeff Bayham with doombuggies.com.
Yeah.
That was Jeff's answer too. He said, really? I don't know if you call this a snack because it could be a meal. He said, but for me, that's what I would choose.
Yeah, it's a snack. It's totally a snack.
Yeah, there you go.
You will start talking in comment.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Hey, there you
and
go.
We didn't try
awesome.
those. That's going to have to be something we do next time.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. All right, number 12.
Mine would be.
What would yours be?
The Mickey bar.
The Mickey bars.
I would have thought yours would have been popcorn, so you can just have a big old room full of it to swim in.
There you go. She loves popcorn, so that surprised me too a little bit.
I mean, after all, every single thumbnail I see of you has you with a big old scoop of popcorn there.
She loves popcorn. She will eat the big. If we go to the movie theater, in the past, she would eat the big thing by herself. She loves
me
popcorn.
too.
Make melted butter.
Melted butter.
And what was that thing called? The flavor thing?
Oh, I don't know, like the flavor shaker thing,
Yeah.
the ranch shaker salt or
what
something.
I do with my popcorn
And
is I will take a bag of M&Ms, the plain M&Ms, just dump those right in there in the tub of popcorn.
I hadn't thought
Try
of
that. You get the salty, you get
that's kind of you got to mix it of chocolate and hey, that's an idea. We might even be able to do that at home. All right. You know what? I got a weird one. Can I say mine?
Yeah.
I was looking online for these and I can't find them anywhere, even on eBay. They have something called Minnie's Bake Shop, and they're these chocolate chip cookies that are about that thick, and they're just round. And there's one in a little package.
Uh-huh.
And I remember buying those in the resort shops when we've gone in the past. And for some reason, those chocolate chip cookies I love. So if I could find them, I'd probably want a year's supply in case I couldn't find them again.
You need to get back to DCA, because over at right outside the Incredicoaster, they have Jack's Cookie Nom Noms.
Yeah, we've not tried that. We need to
that's one of the best chocolate chip cookies you'll ever have. And it's like in a Reese's cup. They're like thick cookies, like about this big.
I've seen it.
Well,
there you go. We need a list for the next visit. What?
Well, yeah, be careful with your blood pressure and sugar.
Yes. I hear you. She's watching out for my health, and I appreciate that. All right, go ahead.
I like this question.
Do number 12.
Okay. If you could live in any Disney resort hotel, which one would it be? This includes the ones that were never built.
Oh my goodness! You keep expanding these questions.
Oh no!
Nice.
I like the history of ones that were not built.
Okay, I'm gonna say, if I could live at any Disney resort, I'd have to say in a Park View room at the Contemporary.
Oh, there you go. That's a good one.
Why? I could have the fireworks at night, and for breakfast, I can go down to Chef Mickey's because I'm a huge buffet person. That's why I'm a little bit on the chunky side, but that's quite all right.
That's fine.
But yeah, definitely the Contemporary
Park
View room.
The first hotel stay in Disney World that she had when she was 4 was the 11th floor, the last room on the end toward Magic Kingdom at the Contemporary.
Nice.
So she had a great one, and it was because I think she had curly hair and was so cute. The lady working behind the counter said, "We're going to give you a great room," and I was like, "Yay, this is awesome!" And we went to Chef Mickey's the day we got there, right? Yeah.
But then Emma's still adorable even as an adult.
Thank you.
Had to make her blush there.
She can be grumpy sometimes.
Well, you always make me want when y'all are being kind to me on the internet.
That's right. All right. Here's number 13. What? Here's number 13.
I mean, what I would say would be for legendary years.
Oh, the one they didn't build.
Yeah, but all the buildings were built, though.
Yes. But you would stay there because it was never built and you'd just be curious.
I know you would be a cabin.
I like the cabins at Fort Wilderness, yes. I like the Contemporary. I like Animal Kingdom Lodge. I like the Polynesian.
Mm-hmm.
I like the Wilderness Lodge. I like the highly themed ones. And like Grand Floridian to me is not themed enough.
Right.
You know, it's a little too
Grand
different.
Floridian just seems too foofy for me.
Yeah, I would agree with that. We've stayed there once, and it's like, but I like the ones that are a little more themed. And then the cabins at Fort Wilderness, you just feel like you're in the middle of nowhere, and it's a break from the
when
parks.
Jennifer and I go next October, we're staying at Art of Animation in the Little Mermaid room.
Oh, there you go. That's the one that we're in the Cars land, but that's where we're supposed to be going this time coming up.
Oh, nice.
So that'll be cool.
Fun fact.
All right, number 13. We're almost there.
If you could build any Disney attraction current or extinct in your backyard, which attraction would it be?
Any Disney attraction, current or extinct, what would it be? Well, I'm a big roller coaster fan. I would have to say, even though I've never been on it, I want a rock and roller coaster in my backyard.
Money.
There you go.
That would play it on Skillet.
Yeah, you would want him to play Skillet instead of Aerosmith.
Yeah.
She likes Skillet. But yeah, it would be like a big giant garage because you need a really big building to house it.
Yeah.
But that would be cool.
But mine would be the Haunted Mansion in Florida. And Hattie.
And Hatbox Ghost, right? We've heard that one.
I understand now.
I know. All right.
And at freak and the other theory become haunted.
Okay. Yeah, we'll move on from that one. All right. Number 14. Here you go.
If you could only visit one Disney park in the world in the future, which one would you choose?
Only one?
Yeah.
Oh, that's tough. I would have to say it would be Disney's Magic Epcot Studio.
Oh, combination!
That's the most creative answer we've heard.
I said combination.
Okay. That was my answer, just to make Emma laugh.
There you go. That did it.
My answer would have to be, and I think it's because I'm partial, because I live on the West Coast.
Yeah.
I would have to say Disneyland, just because, number one, all the history.
Yeah.
And number two, it's very intimate, has a lot of attractions that you are never going to find at Disney World.
Right.
Like, for example, the Storybook Land canal boats.
Right.
I mean, that was an attraction that was based off of Walt Disney's original designs of Disneyland, Disneylandia, which was a miniature area.
Yeah. And that's something, you're right, that would never, I guess, because of the throughput and everything else, would never get built.
Wait, I thought it was Mickey Park.
Well, that was probably one of the names at one point, because he went through, every time he changed it, it kept getting bigger and bigger and bigger.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Yeah.
I would choose Animal Kingdom.
Animal Kingdom. Oh, here we go. All right, we all know why, because you're born the same month it opened. Yeah.
Well, I've always been both Animal Kingdom and the Disney, was it the Disney Magic or the Disney Dream? I think it was the Disney Magic.
We haven't been on a Disney cruise, so I couldn't tell you. That is one thing we'd like to do too. Maybe for one of your birthdays, that would be nice.
Yeah.
Oh, there you
All
go.
right, so the last one is the big question.
Mm-hmm. I'm ready for this one.
And you ready?
You kind of gave a little thing away earlier.
There it is. We popped it up. The big question at the end. You got to read it.
Okay. If you could ask Mr. Walt and Mr. Roy Disney one question right now, what will you ask them?
Okay. The first thing I would say is Walt, because he never went by Mr. Disney. It was always Walt.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I would say, Walt, could you please give Emma a big hug?
I think he's watched your other interviews, huh? We know that Brian's watched your interviews, that's for sure. Because she always asks that.
Remember, and my question that I would ask Walt would be, what would you like to do with all of the modern technology that we have today in regards to not only your resorts and your parks, but also Disney Entertainment as a whole?
Oh, yeah, Disney Plus.
Well, just
think about what can be done with computers and video and audio these days. It's amazing.
And the level, the advanced level of the animatronics and everything else, and the ride technologies and stuff like that. Yeah, what would he use that to create that hasn't been created? Right? What would he apply that to? That's a really good question.
Think about this. In Walt Disney's time, actually even after Walt Disney's time, the strongest computers in the world, the ones that were taking us to the moon, well, your cell phone, your iPhone or your Android is more powerful than those computers.
Yes.
So imagine what he could do with that kind of technology, the level of imagineering that he could come up with.
That's right. Yeah, I mean literally the computers that were in the ship that went to the moon and back was nowhere near as powerful as your phone. So think about the computers and things that powered like great moments with Mr. Lincoln, right? And all that kind of stuff. What would he do with the technology now? That's a really cool answer. Well, you want to ask him about Roy? Because that was part of the question too, right? You got to follow up on that.
Why not Roy?
And for Roy, since Roy was the businessman, he was the money man. He was basically, I mean, Walt's job was coming up with the ideas. Roy's job was making those ideas work. I would ask Roy, hey, what would you do to increase profitability in the Disney parks without increasing ticket prices? There's a lot that can be done to improve efficiency and improve the guest experience to make them want to come back again and again and again and increase profits that way.
Yeah. Yeah.
I would ask him what would be his ideas. Because we know that the current chairman, a lot of people don't like him. A lot of people, think that he's not the right fit. My verdict is still out because I want to see. I'm kind of a long-term solution type of person. I want to see how things roll out later on down the line. I don't want to blame him for, we've got this genie now. We got to pay for things.
Yeah.
Give it a chance. Give it a little chance. Who knows? Maybe paying for things will shorten the lines. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we'll see, I guess.
Yeah.
One of the things I thought about not long ago, and because I remember seeing or hearing a story about Marty Sklar when he first went to work at Disneyland, and he was doing the daily newspaper, I guess, for Disneyland at the time.
Yeah.
And he was young. He was in college, I think, and when he was doing it or just getting out. And he told Walt that it was going to cost more to produce each copy of the newspaper that he was doing than it was going to be paid for. So if they were charging 25 cents, it cost more than that to produce. And he said, we need to raise the price. And Walt said, no, because everybody's going to take this home. They're going to show it to all their friends, and they're going to want to come to Disneyland. Some of the things that, we've seen in the last several months with the 50th, where people have posted things that they bought where the price was actually marked up by Disney from the price that was below it. They took the same item and increased the price on the shelf because they knew the demand was up. It seemed like it was just completely opposite of that story. So some of that makes me concerned, but I'm hoping that, like, everything, it'll balance over time, and
exactly,
something will work out. Either he'll, the person that's doing this, making these decisions, will kind of balance that with something else they do, or the trend will reverse for some other reason, But it is very expensive to go to Disney parks now.
Oh yeah,
and we've been fortunate over the years that we've been able to go as much as we have. But it's getting more and more challenging for everybody, I think.
Yep. But that's just the economy in general, because I mean, if you've seen the price of gas lately, you know that everybody's hurting.
Yeah.
So
that is true. Well, those are really good answers, though. What?
You want to know mine?
Oh, sure. If you want to, you have a new one.
Okay. What would your question be for Walt Disney and for Roy?
And we got the hug out of the way. So what's next? I knew I knew she was gonna say the hug. Okay, so you can ask it. Go ahead.
Oh, Walt, what do you think of Epcot, of what has it become and what it is turning into right now?
What do you think about that?
And what does he think of the other brands that are coming to the Disney family, like Marvel, Star Wars, The Simpsons?
The Simpsons. Oh, so what does Walt think about bringing those other companies or those brands or whatever into the umbrella of Walt Disney?
That's a good question.
That is a good question.
Walt's opinions on the additional intellectual properties coming into the parks.
Yeah.
Or into other areas of business.
Because, I mean, a lot of the stories he created were based on older fairy tales or older things or books that he admired.
Like Peter Pan.
Yeah, so he did bring in other things when he was creating his films.
Here's something you probably didn't realize. You guys have seen Frozen, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You've never seen Frozen?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
We've seen the second one, too.
Take the names of some of the characters from Frozen, you put them together, you find out where Frozen comes from. Hans, Kristoff, Olaf, Sven, Hans Christian Andersen.
The Snow Queen.
That was the
you know
original
that?
Snow Queen story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He
That's
takes
what they were
Hans,
originally
Kristoff,
going to
Olaf,
go
and
to.
Sven.
Yeah. And that was under development for so long. Yeah.
That's what it was originally going to be called.
Was the Snow Queen?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That was the original title of the Hans Christian Andersen story.
There you go. See that? Wow, that's pretty cool.
Now
All right.
I would ask.
Oh, Roy. Yes.
Yeah.
What would you ask Roy?
I would ask. Is it okay I call Mr. Roy or Mr. Roy himself?
I don't know. Go ahead.
Okay. I will ask Roy, what do you think of the company and what do you think of Bob Chapman?
Chapek.
Chapek.
Yes. Not Bob Chaplin. Bob
I
Chapek.
know some people have the same name.
Yes, well, it is very similar. I agree with that.
Like Bob Iger.
Bob Iger and Eisner, right?
Yeah,
Eisner and Iger. Michael Eisner. They were very similar. Yes.
But they're two different people.
Oh, yes, definitely. Very, very different people.
It's like me and you, we have the same name. Well, the other, well, a lot of other people do have our familiar name, but they're all different people.
That's right. They have different ways of thinking, right?
And they live in different parts of the country.
Amen. That's true. All right.
Just remember, Emma, you can't please everybody. You just need to please the ones that really care about you.
Yeah.
That's right. I always tell her, too, it's like the old saying is you can't have everything because where would you put it?
Exactly.
Happy Thanksgiving, Michael.
That's right. Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy holiday.
Well,
Mama.
Are you ready to go? You ready to say thank you and wrap it up?
Look, because it's been over an hour now.
It has been an hour and a half.
Look.
But this has been, well, a lot of them are a lot of fun. All of them are fun. But this one has been, the time flies when you're having this much fun, huh? Conversation. All right. So you got to wrap it up, though.
Thank you, Mr. Ryan from Ryan Wickham, Disney Adventure for me on my show.
And for always being a big supporter of Emma. We appreciate that, too.
And thank you
it's my pleasure.
Oh, sorry. And thank you for coming on Walk Duck.
Oh, for coming on the live stream. Yeah, her fundraiser did well. She raised
I'm glad you guys made some money for that.
Yeah, it's going to be awesome. She's doing well, and she's proud of what she was able to accomplish. Yeah. So that's cool. All righty. Well, we will
see you again.
See you real soon, Brian. We're back. Oh, Emma.
Oh, no, but it was blurry.
I was showing. Okay, it was a little bit blurry. There you go.
Here's an up close blurry so y'all could see. Thought it was blurry earlier.
Yeah, we were talking about Emma's fundraiser. She had a 3-hour-long live stream Saturday night.
Yeah.
She raised a bunch of money for Disability SA in San Antonio and for the FACT Institute here in San Antonio.
And thank you all for those who were participating.
That's right. Thank you for participating. This medal, for people who donate, it's at talkingmickey.com/fiesta. We are sending them this medal, METAL.
No, not the kind of my white rock music.
That says Talking Mickey Project, and it's Fiesta Especial 2022. All the information about the nonprofits and all the information about Emma's campaign are at, where is it? I'm going to put it on the screen real quick. All right, right here. TalkingMickey.com/fiesta, and 100% of the proceeds, if you'd like to donate, go to Disability SA and FACT Institute. That's Emma's school. All righty. We got comments coming, and I want to know, how did you think the interview went? I think Brian did an amazing job. I think Emma did an amazing job. Mike said, awesome job, Emma. Michael said, great job, Emma. Pardon me. Sorry about that. I didn't mean to do that. I got a little frog in my throat or something. Michael says, sorry we missed it Saturday night. We
were at Lee Hu.
Oh, okay. No problem at all. We can't be here every time, but we appreciate it. And it's Elizabeth, great job, Emma. I hope you and the family have a great Thanksgiving. I'm thankful for the amazing work and content you produce.
Thank you, Elizabeth.
Whoa, that is a great comment. And you know what we're going to do? Fireworks.
Look, you did a firework, Elizabeth.
Thank you. I know, Emma appreciates that and all the comments that Michael and Mike have made and that John have made. And there he is, Jonathan.
Look.
Order the Talking Mickey Project medal to support Talking Mickey Project. That's right. Look. It's a gift when you donate $15 or more.
And wait to find me you next weekend.
And you shared it. Thank you. Bless you, mate. Dennis says. Dennis is watching from Australia. And it's morning there. So, wow.
Mate.
Thank you for being here, Dennis. Emma was Boulder. She rocked it. That's awesome. Monica says, awesome job, Emma. Thumbs up from Jonathan. Happy Thanksgiving, Barons. Thank you, Libby. Thank you. And happy Thanksgiving to you all, too. Oh, I'm sorry. Michael, sorry about that. We're from Texas.
Oh, Long Island.
Long Island, short for LI, short for Long Island.
I think they were some restaurant called Long Island. I think they all shut down.
Oh, hey, Brian. Good to see you. How are you guys doing? I know I'm late, but better late than never. I'm listening to you guys as I'm doing some emails at work. I love what you guys are doing. Thank you, Brian. And thank you for inviting us to the Facebook group. You got to check that out, right? There's some great ones out there, and Brian does a really good one. And Dennis says, well, it's afternoon now in Queensland. Yeah, that was okay. So time flies. We were having fun, and it was turning into afternoon in Queensland, Australia. Happy Thanksgiving to you guys. Thank you, Mike. That's right. And there's another program here in San Antonio called it's called SA Life Academy. And Jonathan's mentioning that, so you can look that up if you're interested.
And I'll support that too.
Emma's grandparents, Emma's grandma and grandpa. Great interview. Thank you, Brian, for being so wonderful to Emma, my granddaughter. Brian did a great job. Well, I think, Emma, we have been on for an hour and 44 minutes. This is
almost 2 hours.
This is a long live stream. And the fact that you guys have hung around, guess what? You get a Mickey balloon. Everybody that hung around for the whole live stream gets a Mickey balloon as far as I'm concerned. And from Emma, you get a heart. So thank you so much. And thank you here up in the right corner or left corner. Right, if you're looking at your screen. It says first visit. This is a virtual digital button. Digital first visit button for coming and visiting Emma's channel. So
it's now as a gift.
It's a gift for a GIF or whatever. So thank you for being here. And thank you for hanging out with Brian and learning more about Brian, because he did a great job. Emma did a great job. And I'm just happy to be here and help with what Emma's doing on the Talking Mickey project. And Emma's mom, she's like the hook. She's just pulling us off stage because she knows we've been on probably a long time now. Thanks, y'all. Good night. But before we say good night, I'm going to just remind you real fast.
This night is my interview with Gray Hauger.
Right.
From Disney.com and Monorail News.
That's right. Disability at Disney.com and Monorail News. Gray Hauser is going to be on Saturday night. I fixed that thing and it still showed up with the M on it.
I think there's an error with the progress.
Yeah, it's an issue with Canva. I'll fix that again before Saturday. And then next Wednesday night is Trivia, the Muppet Christmas Carol. Be with us, 7 o'clock Central, 8 o'clock Eastern for Trivia night next Wednesday. And the big one, the weekend of Walt's birthday.
Which is next Sunday, I believe.
We have Dina, Brent, and Robert from Super 78, and they have restored and are completing the museum design for the Walt Disney birthplace in Chicago. And we had an amazing conversation with them the other night. That is going to be aired the 4th of December, which is the day before Walt's
120th birthday.
Walt would be 120 this year.
So make yourself a happy birthday him when you're in Glendale.
That's right. But right now, we would love for you to join us for the interview with Gray, Trivia Night, and for the interview with the Walt Disney birthplace, because that would be a great way to honor Walt.
Yeah.
All right, guys, we have got to go. So we will, and Michael says, gobble, gobble. It is time to say goodnight. So how do we do that, Em?
I'm always going to take you off the watching. You can like, subscribe, and share the channel with your family and friends.
And we'll see you
Real good. Night, guys. Don't worry, I'll poke a question in the comments.
Good night, guys. See you soon.